Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this particular video is coming to you straight about Oakland, California, and its mayor. But before I get into it, I want you to also know that this story is enthralled, and when I talk about it all the time, that we need to know what's going on with our city politics, legislation, our state politics and legislation, way before what's going on in Washington, D.C. and our federal legislators. You need to know what's going on directly in your city because it has a direct effect on you each and every day. And this is a cautionary tale. For example, in the state of Illinois, you have the Safety Act. Safety Act. In New York City, you have bail reform. And in LA County, you have what's called cashless bail system. What do all three of those entail? Well, you could commit a minor infraction and not get sent to jail or go to jail. You can get arrested and get out under your own recognizance and then have a later court date. Well, what has that caused? First of all, how do you define a minor infraction, a minor crime? Because if somebody perpetrates a crime against you, say somebody grabs and steals your purse, that's not minor. That experience is very major and is very frightening and disconcerting. So for the court systems to define something as minor with a broad swipe, what does that mean? And so when you have cities like Chicago, New York, LA, have been inundated with assaults, personal property crimes, the migrant issue is huge. DEI is a big major issue. All of these things are particularly decimating these cities and even these states. Well, the Oakland mayor was all for, and the San Francisco mayors are all for cashless bail systems. So people can steal up to $950 a day and get away with it with no repercussions, meaning security guards or police officers won't even stop you. You can walk right out of the door with less than $1,000 worth of product each and every day. And as a result of that, Oakland and San Francisco have been decimated with property damage, armed assaults, gun violence. You have large companies like In-N-Out Burger, Denny's, banks, Walgreens that are leaving San Francisco and Oakland by the drones. And what does that do for the citizens? Where do they get a chance to shop? Grocery stores are closing. People are eating food right off of the counter, putting bags of groceries and walking right out of the door. So you need to know what's going on how these city officials and state officials are legislating laws on the books. So, and with saying that, and as a result of this recent Puffy arrest, and this story doesn't have anything to do with Puffy, but as a result of this recent Puffy arrest, I think the feds, you're going to see a lot more politicians that are going to be getting in a lot of trouble, and the feds are going to be going after them. If you notice in Chicago and New York, the mayor's office, the city's officials, many of them have been in a lot of trouble. People are getting arrested and indicted, and the feds have opened their eyes up to all kinds of corruption in the entertainment business and in the political arena. I think this Puffy situation is just a start. So let's get into this one about the Oakland mayor. FBI raid of Oakland mayor Rock City fuels questions over family's political influence. While it's still unclear why FBI agents raided the home of Oakland mayor Sheng Thao, the action has cast a renewed spotlight on a years-long probe into the political influence and campaign finance machines of one prominent local family. There's been a long-running probe. For 5 years, the Oakland Public Ethics Commission and the State Fair Political Practice Commission, the FPPC, have been investigating allegations that executives at California Waste Solutions, now remember these names, Fair Political Practice Commissions, the Oakland Public Ethics Commissions, and this company, California Waste Solutions, namely members of the Dong family, use straw donors to circumvent donation limits and fill the campaign coffers of public officials. So what are straw donors? Well, for example, they'll put a $2,500 limit on an individual that can make a donation to one's campaign. Well, if they can only put $2,500, if you own a business and you're trying to get legislation passed that's going to reward your business, well, you just go get 100 outside people, have them write $2,500 checks, and then you give them the $2,500 back in cash as if they are making the donation on their own, when really they're just doing it with you behind the scenes actually operating this kind of donation coffer. And that's illegal. So, as federal agents walked out with boxes from Thao's home, this is the mayor, agents also executed warrants at the Oakland office of Cal Waste Solutions, which provides recycling services to the city. FBI officials confirmed. Agents also searched the homes of the company's chief executive, David Dong, and his son, Andy Dong, a purchasing agent who is in charge of the company's public relations. The FBI has not formally accused Thao or members of the Dong family of wrongdoing. Thao's attorney, Anthony J. Brass, told the Times in an email that the mayor has no information or indication that she is the subject of a federal inquiry and that she is willing to cooperate with investigators. Well, she's not subject to a federal inquiry. Why did the feds raid her house? She has nothing to hide, Attorney Brass said. It's unfortunate that she has to endure the bad optics of having this search warrant executed on her home. She would have cooperated with this investigation without the need for this search. Cal Waste Solutions, the company that's involved in this, issued a statement. We were very surprised by the federal law enforcement search of our homes and offices on June 20th, the statement said. To facilitate the law enforcement agencies in carrying out their duties, we as good citizens who always obey the law have cooperated and provided every possible condition for the law enforcement agency to perform their work effectively. We believe that we are not engaged in or committed to any illegal activities and are awaiting the decision of the law enforcement agency. David and Andy Dong did not respond to the request. Now remember, these are the owners of Cal Waste. So another hit for the city. For Oakland, here we go with these liberal laws. A city already reeling from a spat of recent reputational hits. The timing is inauspicious, to say the least. Before the raid, Mayor Thao was facing a recall fueled by concerns over crimes, a problem so pronounced it prompted Governor Gavin Newsom to deploy 120 California Highway Patrol officers to Oakland as part of a new state law enforcement campaign to address violent crime. Remember, I said there's an uptick in violent crime in these migrant cities, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, California, the state of California. You're hearing these rumblings in Springfield, Ohio. And don't turn a blind eye and don't think that your city could be the next migrant city or be the next city that has this uptick in crime. Look at Atlanta, Georgia. Big chain restaurants such as In-N-Out and Denny's have closed local locations, citing safety concerns. A recent Juneteenth celebration was marred by a shooting that left several people wounded and dead. While the crackdown seems to be showing some results, recent reports from the Oakland Police Department show a 33% reduction in crime in 2024, compared with the same last year. The raids have renewed concerns about the city's leadership. This is the kind of attention we don't need, said Brenda Harbin Fort, who launched the Oakland United to recall Sheng Tao's effort. the mayor's efforts. She launched this Oakland United. They want to remove the mayor of Oakland. The federal inquiry, she said, is another stain on the city. I think people who were on the fence about the recall, removing the mayor, will now understand that we need to clean house from top down. The recall measure is expected to be on the November ballot. So remember, we're in an election time. That's why I'm doing this story. Please have your critical thinking, stay conscious and aware. Here's the ethics probe. Simon Russell, a special investigator with Oakland's Public Ethics Commission, confirmed that the agency has an investigation into Thao Waste Solutions that started in 2019. Remember, this is the company that is part of this probe with the mayor, with Mayor, what is her name? Mayor Thao. So the commission has, Mayor Thao. The commission has claimed in court documents that the alleged election finance laundering scheme spanned several cycles and involved straw donations making contributions to different candidate-controlled committees. In an effort to identify participants of the scheme, the commission issued subpoenas, including one to Phung Hong Tran, board member of the Oakland Vietnamese Chamber of Commerce, and a friend of David Dong, the president of Thao Waste Solutions. When Tran failed to respond to the subpoena, the commission and the Oakland city attorney sought to enforce it in Alameda County Superior Court, detailing for the first time the scope of their investigation. Tran did not immediately respond to the request. The January 2020 court document showed that investigators were looking at campaign contributions made to the Sheng Thao for Oakland City Council for 2018 committee, which included donations from Kim Hong, Vietnamese cuisine that investigators said were laundered. So there's several of these companies, these Vietnamese companies involved in this. Kim Hong Vietnamese cuisine. Investigators are also looking at other contributions Tran made to the committees of council members seeking re-election in 2018. The agency has issued subpoenas to members of the Dong family, as Thao Waste, and business associates seeking emails, texts, and communications regarding campaign donations between 2016 and 2018. Russell declined to provide details on the case, but said it involved allegations of campaign money laundering. He said he has no comment when asked if the agency had been in contact with officials with the FBI or the Department of Justice regarding the investigation. The Ethics Commission also has an investigation into Thao that was opened in July 2022, Russell said, though he declined to offer specifics. But subpoenas and court and public records show that the watchdog groups had been looking at Thao Waste Solutions and its role in Oakland politics for years. That includes the company's relationship with Thao, who in 2018 became the first Hmong person to be elected to office in a major U.S. city. She is the first one to become a mayor. The story of what is the rise of the Dong family? The story of the Dong family, at first glance, seems a realization of the American dream. The family at one point owned the largest paper mill in South Vietnam, but was forced to flee during the Vietnam War, according to a biography on the Thao Waste Solutions website. The Dong settled in San Francisco, 16 members of the family cramming into two studio apartments. For years, family members collected cardboard until midnight, saving up until they bought a recycling warehouse in West Oakland. That first warehouse has since grown into the self-proclaimed largest recycling company in North California, with more than 300 employees. It is headed by the three siblings, David, the chief executive, Christina, the chief financial officer, and Victor, the vice president. The Public Ethics Commission opened its investigation into the alleged straw donations in 2019, issuing subpoenas for business associated that are connected to the family. Court documents filed by the FPPC, remember that's the Fair Political Practice Commission, detailed how, according to a former business associate of Andy Dong, the company allegedly tried to circumvent campaign contribution limits using friends and associates to make campaign contributions to political candidates, and then reimbursing them with cash to conceal where the donations were truly coming from. CWS was the true source of, that's Cal Waste, was the true source of at least 93 contributions to multiple local campaign committees. The court records reads, with the goal being to curvy favor with candidates and provide more access to candidates. The contributions were made, according to court records, in jurisdictions where the company was doing or looking to do business. Contributions were made to political candidates in Oakland, San Jose, and Santa Clara County, the document alleges, suggesting the inquiry could expand beyond Oakland. Investigators also suggested Andy Dong made sure that the company's efforts were known to politicians. Dong ensured the targeted candidates were aware of his commitment to raise money for their campaign by attending candidate fundraisers, bringing individuals to campaign fundraisers, at times hosting campaign fundraisers, providing the committees and candidates with multiple checks, the FPPC alleged. One former business associate told investigators how Andy Dong allegedly approached him to recruit people who could make political contributions to his chosen candidates and then reimburse them with the money from a drawer filled with cash at his office. The inquiry continues that FPPC officials did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Thao has not spoken publicly about the investigation. This is the mayor. But her attorney said the mayor expects to continue to do her work. But critics say they wish Mayor Thao and other city leaders would be more transparent about the ongoing inquiries. You need to say something to reassure your residents because they're worried and scared about who will be swept up next in this, said Harbin Fort, who has led the recall effort against Mayor Thao. What's going to happen to our city government? We have a budget deadline next week. Where's the leadership? I had to do this story. I know it's a long one, but I hope that you will listen to it, because if you turn a blind eye to this and you're not paying attention, and you don't have to be from Oakland, and you're not paying attention to how your local politics, how your local politicians are legislating and doing business, this particular situation, businesses, private companies have always been in cahoots with politicians, whether it's for tax abatements, whether it's for special funding, secretly. There are many things that are being done in the dark that come out in the light later on that has effects on the American citizens in each of these cities. We need to hold our politicians accountable, and we need to use our critical thinking and raise our level of consciousness, and not just blindly vote for people because of name recognition. This is a clear case where Oakland is being decimated by liberal laws, the migrant issue, DEI, and other chaos and disorder that's taking place in this city. And it has changed the dynamics not only of Oakland and San Francisco, but the state of California. Where is the accountability for Governor Gavin Newsom, who the Democrats want to be the next president here soon? Trust and believe me. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive, righteous, and God-fearing way.